who's asleep amidst the trees. Bats all a-swaying in the breeze. But one soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths.
The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, has sold well over 25 million copies worldwide, and it's fair to say it has grown a pretty substantial fanbase. In fact, the game in general has won many awards, including the 2015 Game of the Year award, beating other titles like Fallout 4. But, as many of you know, the series and the story is based on the novels by Andrzej Sapkowski, a Polish author. The books were mainly written in the mid-1990s. And because of the fact that there are books before the games, the Witcher universe is massive. In fact, there is a total of 8 Witcher books, and one of them hasn't even been fully translated into English, as it was only written in 2013. With so much lore and story, it is easy to feel overwhelmed whilst playing for the first time, especially when you don't really have much background. We've all been in the position, and we all know it is difficult to learn what is going on. The books completely paved the way for the games, and the lore of the games are completely based on the books, like as you would expect. So it's near to impossible to fully grasp what is going on by just starting The Witcher 3. And yes, there are videos on the internet which try to give you a tiny bit of insight, but there's so much amounts of information in the books that you're going to completely miss out on were you not to read them. Hopefully, that's where I come in. I have recently read the books, and I feel much better for having read them. However, something I understand is a lot of people just want to play the games and they can't be asked to buy the books and then read the books, because some people aren't a big fan of reading books, and that's just their decision. But they still want to be able to enjoy The Witcher 3 to the highest of limits, and it's going to be very difficult for them if they don't know the full information about the game. So what I've decided to do is to make a series of videos explaining the lore of the game, the world that it is in, everything about it. Whether that's characters, just individual stories, there's so much. I'm going to talk about the universe and make it as simple as humanly possible. And because there's so much to cover, I'm going to split the videos into a number of categories. Number 1, characters. This one's quite self-explanatory. I'm just going to describe the characters and their events in the books, give you a bit of history to the characters, so you know a bit more about them in depth. Like, obviously, when you start playing The Witcher, it's obvious to know, like, Geralt's a Witcher, Yen's a sorceress, but apart from that, you don't really know much about their history, about what they did together. So it would be very helpful for you guys to know their history and their characters. Of course, they give you the character descriptions in the game, but in my opinion, it doesn't really tell you as much as you should know. Number 2, individual stories. There are so many just individual events that take place in the books, whether it's in the short novels, The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny, or if it's just in the book series itself, and they all help mold the series in general. How Geralt's relationship with Ciri started, and many other big stories that happen, and they don't ever explain them in the game because there's not really an explanation before you start about what happens. So I'm going to try to explain the stories and give you as much insight into it as possible. Number 3, concepts. This one is a tiny bit more harder to explain, so but bear with me. Fantasy worlds have their own history and concepts that in no way resemble life as we know it ourselves, which is why explaining it will help you understand the universe and help make it make more sense. There's so much to do with the lore of the world itself, including how the Conjunction of Fears took place, or what even is the Conjunction of Fears, and what an important part Destiny plays in the world of The Witcher. Number 4, general. This one, I've written this like 5 times in my script, but basically, this one's pretty simple. It's just, if a video does not fit the rest of the categories, maybe it's just me asking a question or me wanting to start a discussion about a certain thing, or just a concept that I have created myself, I'm just going to put it in this section. It's just a general kind of video, which is just to expand knowledge for you and also allow you to know my opinions about certain characters and certain events that take place. And number 5, suggestions. Again, category is kind of self-explanatory once again, but this one won't be used as much to start off with because I'm going to start off with a small fan base like any new YouTube channel does. But basically, this is, as you could probably guess, this is where viewers will come in with suggestions for me about what they want me to do in my YouTube videos, and, well, I'll comply because I'm a very understanding person, and you could just give me any suggestion possible and I'll do it. Of course, it's going to be a serious suggestion. I'm not going to make an entire video about unicorn sex, to be completely honest with you, but, you know, provided, of course, a serious suggestion, I'm going to do it for you. A quick note, I will not be discussing the events of the game, purely because these videos are for people who want to play the game and understand the lore behind it, but don't want to read the books. For this reason, I don't want to discuss and I don't want to spoil the games anyway. I'm going to refer to things from the game, so characters from the game, maybe dialogues that take place in the game that reference the books, but I'm not going to talk about the story of the game because I don't want to give any spoilers to anyone. Obviously, my videos will be spoiling the books for some people who don't want to know what happens in the books because they will eventually want to read them. So if you are going to read the books, which I do suggest you do if you're a fan of fantasy novels, then I would advise you to not watch some of the videos, but if it's a general video, I don't think there's much issue watching those, but I just don't want to make anything about the games because that's not what my videos are going to be about, to be completely honest. And that's my introduction. This is a pretty long video and not really much exciting stuff is happening, so I appreciate if you made it to the end. Comment any suggestions you have for further videos and I will try my best to fulfill your request.
But when so lies, I'm just wide awake for the Wtcher, brave and bold, paid in coin of gold. He'll chop and slice, you cut and dice, you eat, you